So this episode is supposed to take place in December, with the English localization of the game taking place in California. With that being the case, where in California is the Berry Big Circus supposed to be? California doesn't get much snow. Out of all locations in America for the English localization to take place, why the heck did they choose California? Or, excuse me, I guess the fan-accepted name is Japanifornia, given the Japanese influence that we see throughout the series in spite of the different country.
Alright, Nick, I'll see you in 2 hours at the detention center.
Huh? What?
See you there. You still got plenty of time to clean up your office later.
Does it really take 2 hours to go from Wright & Co. to the detention center? No, stupid question. Of course not. But 2 hours still sounds like plenty of time to clean up before meeting Maya at the detention center.
Maybe he used his magical skills to deal death with a sleight of hand.
You spelled slight wrong.
Uh-huh, I thought you would pick that one, sweetie. The Ace of Hearts!
Ah! He got it, Nick, look, he got it! Here we are, back with the hyperactive fangirl cliche right out of Turnabout Samurai. Seriously, does every third episode require Phoenix to represent someone based on Maya's recommendation? Spoiler alert? Well, no, but it is weird how it happened twice.
Hey, what about my card?
Think of it as a souvenir.
You mean to tell me Phoenix is able to keep the card he selected from Max? How? I thought they were talking to him with a glass barricade between them.
Absolutely fabulous!
Absolutely cringe-inducing. Yeah, you hit that nail on the head.
There was a trophy and a bust. It was it was an amazing day.
See, even Max thinks he's using the word fabulous a bit too much.
Someone smashed him over the head, I hear. He was slumped over on the ground.
Not necessarily on the ground, just over a trunk, but go off, I guess.
The police questioned me at length.
Questioned you about what?
About everything. I was the last one to see the ringmaster before he was murdered. I saw him last evening, in his room.
So then, why were you arrested? What do you mean, why was he arrested? Didn't he just tell you? It was because he was the last to see the ringmaster. Great, I had to present my attorney's badge just to get him to realize, oh, I've been arrested. Because that's so hard to believe when you're talking to a lawyer with a glass barricade between you and iron bars at your window.
Why do you keep looking at me with such a sad look on your face, sweetie?
But because you've been arrested for murder.
Oh, don't be ignorant. They wouldn't arrest someone like me.
Why is that?
Obviously, because I'm the fabulous Maximilian Galactica.
Oh, and I guess they wouldn't arrest Bruno Mars because of his fame.
Quit joking around. You've got to be pulling my magic wand.
Absolutely not, just my own. Wait, that's not right either. Forget I said anything.
Sir, you're a lawyer, right?
Huh? Yeah, I'm an attorney.
Please, help me. I didn't kill nobody.
What a real shocking twist. A fabulous performer turns out to be a dumb southerner. This is gonna be a fun man to defend.
How is it you guys always seem to know when I'm working a crime scene, pal?
Because you're always working, detective. Yeah, but is there seriously no other detectives in the homicide department to lead these cases that Phoenix takes on? The fact that it's always Gumshoe that Phoenix meets seems a bit more than a coincidence, wouldn't you say? Do you know who will be the prosecutor in court tomorrow?
Of course. It'll be Miss Von Karma.
She isn't gonna hit me with her whip again, is she?
What do you have to worry about? You only have to see her in court.
Seeing her in court is exactly what I'm worried about.
He died outside in the cold. A pretty sad way to go out if you ask me, pal.
I can imagine. His girlfriend dumped him to be a model for guys in Paris. Then the day after she returned, she got struck on the head with the clock he gave her as a gift. Oh wait, who are we talking about again? Someone who actually died in the cold?
I forgot to mention that you two are barred from entering that lodging house.
Why is that?
Oh, no reason. Just something I remembered to tell you.
It must be because that's where the eyewitness is. Let's check it out.
Don't you dare, pal!
Yet when we enter the lodging house, we're not even able to talk to Mo yet because he's not in his room. Thanks for nothing, detective. And also, thanks for doing basically nothing to stop us. Wow, this is where they all perform, isn't it? Nick, do some somersaults.
I'm not doing any somersaults.
Why not? You look like you'd be great at it. Why do I look like I'd be great at somersaults? I would have said that I don't want to ruin my good suit, but that kind of argument works too, I guess. Tiger!
He's coming this way! Ah!
And that was Ace Attorney. Can I go now? Ah, a ladder. It's just a step ladder. What's the difference? They do the same thing, right? I think you should stick with the basic facts of the matter. Oh, okay. It's not even worth arguing with her on this one. For one sole reason. We've had this kind of discussion before, and this time you're going further to call it just a stepladder. It is in fact a type of ladder, right?
For someone whose father was just murdered, she seems awfully perky.
Phoenix has a point. Even if I know the reason, I'm not sure being sheltered is enough for her to be all smiles. Regina, what's the matter? What's on your mind? I'll tell you, Maya, but just you. Teenage girls. Regina told me that someone professed their love to her.
Professed their love?
Not only that, it was Maximilian Galactica. What? A man who's just old enough to drink professed their love to a 16-year-old girl? Not only that, but the ringmaster's daughter? You're not kidding. 2 people in one day? Even I want to profess my love for her.
Me too. She's so cute.
Oh gosh, please, no more fan art inspiration. So many posters that they aren't likely to miss one, are they? Maya, we're supposed to be the honest ones here? But, you didn't even notice that I took one. Interesting. In the first game, she needed to ask Phoenix first before she went and did something stupid, like ripping off the blockage of the drain in the Global Studios employee area, or taking the party poppers left at Gourd Lake Public Beach. Now she just takes things whether Phoenix approves or not. You can't just go rummaging through people's coats. Ah, you always make me feel like I'm doing something wrong. Well, you did just take one of the posters off the wall.
Hey, I'm Benjamin Woodman.
Your last name is Woodman? Woodman. Oh, this guy's cool.
Yeah.
Hello?
Kablamo! Congratulations! You're the big wiener!
Oh gosh, no. No! I don't want to be the big wiener. Not with this tool around.
To celebrate this momentous occasion, would you care for an organic grape? Just one.
Did you get my joke right there? Aha! 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 Aha!
I welched on giving you more than one. No. If it was funny, it is your duty as a human being to laugh.
Why do you think I'm not laughing? No wonder people don't like this guy. And you know what? Just so I don't waste too much time, I won't point out every joke, but there's so much more wrong with these jokes, so I'll still assign sins on them. For now, I'll just sin every joke at once, including this one. Clowns are always funny in my book. Pennywise and the killer clowns from outer space would like a word with you.
You sure have great taste in clothes, girly. Look at that garb. You look just like Greta Garb. Oh!
Ah, reference to Greta Garbo, a Swedish-American silent film actress. Everyone's going to get that. I'm sorry, Mo. Nick was born without a sense of humor. So are we as the audience, apparently.
When you've been a performer for a long time, your act starts getting a bit stale.
I realize that even my act can get a bit long in the tooth. Good thing we're on the same page there. Just getting ready. Okay. Do you know why I, Phoenix Wright, am a great lawyer? Because I'm right all the time. At least his expectations are low.
I wouldn't let him quit his day job.
Yeesh, cut a guy some slack. At least it was funnier than Chuckles over here.
I suppose.
Let's just say there's gotta be something interesting there.
Why is there a reference to a mob boss in relation to our investigation?
You should always carry a map with you to get around.
Ah, thank you. This is an atlas. No, it's a map. Why did you fight with him? Ben seems like such a quiet man. We fought about my sweetie pie. You mean Regina? That ill-bred creep told my sweetie pie princess that he was in love with her. Okay, really, what the heck is wrong with this circus? It's bad enough we got a 21-year-old man professing his love to a 16-year-old girl. Now we got a 31-year-old man professing his love to that same 16-year-old girl. Holy cow! That's when the ringmaster called me and I realized that it was my chance. Your chance? That's when I went to his room and I laid it all out on the table. I asked him to let me marry my sweetie pie. Ignoring the matter of marriage between a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old, you've been called in because you got in a fight with Ben and you're just gonna brush it off and propose to his daughter? Are you crazy? The puppet. The ventriloquist puppet. His real name is Triloquist. But a puppet doesn't talk. I know! That's why I hid it! Before the police came and took me away, of course. That would have to be between the time Russell was killed and Max was arrested, and I'll explain why when we get there. Let's see. Maybe we should go talk to the clown.
Hey, wait!
Who said that?
What are you looking at? I'm right here, you blind wench! What's your problem anyways? Don't you know how to properly greet someone?
Oh great, it's the freaking puppet we just gave back to Ben. Trillo is still a puppet, right? A ventriloquist?
Hey, who do you think you are calling me a puppet?
What would you rather be called? A dummy?
Regina, my lovely Regina. She is stunning, right, Ben?
Well, I'm not sure if I would go that far.
You'll have to excuse him. He does not understand what he speaks. I, on the other hand, am an appreciator of true beauty, hence why I shall marry her.
Oh, so it's not the man that wants to marry Regina, it's the dummy. As if that's supposed to be any better.
You must be looking forward to tomorrow, aren't you, Mr. Ambulance Chaser?
Is that a threat? I can't tell if that's a threat or not.
Ah, yow! Ah!
And that was Ace Attorney. Can I go now?
Go to Moe's.
You know what kind of Moe's I'd rather go to? No, not Moe's Tavern. I'm not going to be an alcoholic. No, the Moe's I'm thinking of is Moe's Southwest Grill, which I've actually never been to before.
Pull up a chair, or maybe just pull my finger and let me have it.
We're going to get the same sound effect either way, aren't we?
How'd you know I put a whoopee cushion on the chair?
That's not how you spell whoopee.
I'll be happy to take you where his owner is staying.
You mean right now?
Of course. Shall we go?
Should we go with him now or wait a while?
It gives me an option? Yes, we're gonna go now so I can get my badge back. That's the whole reason I was chasing this darn monkey in the first place. Why would I say no?
Just be careful to make sure you've got the right stuff.
Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Holy cow. There's a fork and a mirror. Everything's shiny. Whose home is this? Money's or Ariel's? You don't think I should fly, do you? Huh? You know, you've got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little. Right, and how do you plan on doing that? Oh, sweetie! What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? Forget my first question. Isn't Regina the sheltered one, not Max? And now for the case of one.
What?
Francisca's at it with the whip again. Is she just never gonna learn not to use it in court? I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying. Maya would be amazing at CinemaSins. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are.
Me?
Guilty? What are you talking about?
It will be my ultimate revenge.
And you don't even answer my question. It's not like I'm the one on trial here. A blunt object. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Wait, you're not going to question what the murder weapon was? By neglecting to question the murder weapon, you're basically judging an incomplete indictment.
The snow. Let me see. There's got to be more to this.
Except there isn't, not like a certain other case. And don't give me this court record BS right there. The dialogue for pressing the first statement is just misleading.
We got a witness that told us how the whole thing went down. Ow! This is totally meaningless. Time to move on.
How is it meaningless? Gumshoe mentioned a witness. And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you? The police are still looking for it as we speak.
My theory is that it is something the perpetrator ran off with.
And you think the perpetrator is Max, yet you found nothing of the sword on him. The only means you had for believing it was him was a silk hat found in the plaza? I'm starting to have my doubts about when the dark age of the law really began. I think it was actually much earlier than future installments let on. I would like to call Benjamin Footman to the stand.
She must be talking about Ben, the ventriloquist.
I wonder if Trillo will show up at the stand as well. I hope not. I'd rather it just be that stuttering, dang it! Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds. You see, it's funny because it's true.
That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime.
So Ben did have Trillo with him when he saw someone walking past him. So when did Max hide Trillo? It would have to have been after the murder and before he was arrested. Yet according to Max, he never left the ringmaster's room. So again, when the heck did Max hide Trillo?
Max's three-piece get-up! Jeez, could you be any more dense? All together now!
Silk hat! Cloak! White roses! So the gallery actually responded? Wow. Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person and one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer, Regina!
Ah!
Okay, so his head and arms just separated from his body. And it's all back together when we get back to him. Damage animations, am I right?
In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket.
Why would Trillo lie about the ring still having been in his pocket? He had literally no reason to.
Don't be so obtuse! Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love!
I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too. Oh my gosh, you're not making this any better, Judge. Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your cross-examination. What was with that sigh at the end? The fact that Maya had to ask. Just by hearing the testimony, you're very likely to have guessed what Trillo's present for Regina is, since you already have it in the court record. You'd think the solution would be to present the ring to his last statement about the ring still being in his pocket, but nope, you don't even get a chance to explain yourself because Phoenix turns into an idiot immediately after presenting the evidence, and the judge penalizes him. Instead, you have to press the second statement in the testimony so that Trillo can describe what the present is, as if you couldn't already figure it out yourself. Only after pressing can you present the evidence. Not to mention, when you do present the ring after pressing the second statement, Trillo immediately recognizes it when you show it. Why would that not have happened regardless of whether or not you press this statement? It may be something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed to a human being. Ow! Thanks, Francisca. I didn't want to hear the rest of that raving lunatic's ramblings anyway. So that means that money didn't show up until after you saw Max?
That's right! Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max!
Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him. How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting?
Well, let's see. I'd say about...
I suppose 5 minutes, I think.
So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch. So let's see if I got this supposed series of events right. The prosecution argues that first Ben saw Max, then Money stole the ring and Ben chased after him, and within the 5 minutes Ben wasn't there, the victim showed up? What kind of prosecuting prodigy is this?
I didn't tell a single lie. Honestly, I just...
Well, you did say your engagement ring was still in your pocket, but that turned out not to be true. Money stole it and you chased him.
Well, at first I thought it was the old man, but... Once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica.
And by better look, you mean the silk hat, cloak, and the white roses. And from that, you seeing it to be Max, that was a mistake.
And again, with the overestimations, nearly 2 hours passed, yet all we heard was a summary of the case and a puppet's testimony. I went straight to the ringmaster's room, still dressed in my stage clothes. But when I got there, I went ahead and took the costume off. Which means? It means that the ringmaster could have taken his costume and went out looking like Max. Fabulous! That's a fabulously possible possibility! Just tell us if it's true or not, Max. You were there. You should know. Why would the ringmaster want to dress up like me? Isn't that a bit strange? It really is. I can understand if it was cold out, but for that, all he needed was the cloak. The ringmaster had no reason whatsoever to wear the silk hat as well. It's almost like he wanted Max to take the blame for his own death. The recess was supposed to go 10 minutes, but it actually took 12 minutes. That's cheating. A pitiful clown for the unfortunate distinction of having seen the entire thing. That's not the only unfortunate distinction that Cloud has. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playgrounds where I spent my college days. Great, now he's got to rap a parody of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, just to add to the stupid jokes. Not just that, he parodies 2 sections of the opening scene. 2! So that's 2 sins. I'm just not used to being in court. I've never been in a courtroom in my life. I wasn't quite sure what joke is best suited to this sort of occasion. It's not like you spent your entire life in the circus, unlike the ringmaster's daughter. You know better than to tell jokes in court. But this atmosphere is very nerve-wracking. I decided to try making everyone laugh. Seriously, everyone, what do you think of me? How am I doing? Boo! Either give your testimony or get off the stand! I'm afraid that if you push this witness too far, it would bring disaster upon the court. Trust me, I've talked to him personally. I know how much trouble he could be on people's ear canals. If you cause this clown to stray from the facts, I'll hold you responsible. Why am I responsible? I'm not the one with the corny jokes. True, it's the prosecution's witness. She should be responsible for the witness's behavior. How exactly am I supposed to make a joke about 10 o'clock p.m.? Now 8 o'clock. That's something a clown can riff off of. Let's just pretend it was 8 o'clock. That way I can make a great joke. Why is he giving me the option? Obviously I'm gonna pick no because I don't want to hear another joke from this idiot. Come on, Nick, just listen to his joke. There are 3 reasons why I don't want to. 1, I probably won't laugh. 2, I'll get hit with a penalty. 3, I'll get whipped. Will the witness just proceed with his factual testimony? You are so boring. What, you want me to lose consciousness again? Some assistant you are. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that thumb, didn't I? Ow, yow, ow! That's not something you just forget to mention. That's a good point. How come Mo didn't mention it in court the first time? In 1972, a crack clown unit was sent to prison by a circus court for a crime. Mr. Curls, how do you respond to Mr. Wright's assessment? They didn't commit. These clowns promptly escaped from a maximum security clown car. Mr. Curls, are you reciting the C-Team theme to anger this court? Not only does Mo now parody the A-Team theme, the parody actually exists as a TV show in the Ace Attorney universe, but it sounds less like a parody and more like a complete rip-off. These types of witnesses always seem to have a selective memory. Case in point, Salmonella. Everyone knows that Maximilian Galactica has 3 uppity symbols. 3 symbols? Add it again with a selective memory and for one of the star attractions of the circus.
Do you like pie? I love pie. Tasty.
Anyone else want to throw some pie at his face? He is a clown after all. There weren't any roses on the person I saw.
The crime scene was dark. It's obvious it was too dark to see that kind of detail.
But the witness said he was able to see the silhouette of the criminal's face. Not to mention that the roses are white. There's no way he could have missed them.
That the roses must have fallen off when the defendant assaulted the victim.
If that was the case, then the police would have found them near the crime scene. Franziska had a perfect career in Germany, by the way.
Order! 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 Mr. Carls!
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the meaning of all this? You're old enough to know better than behave like this at court!
Hey, Your Honor, I'm the one doing the sins here.
Seriously, why? Just because you're sitting above me doesn't mean you belong there, and no matter how old I get, I'll always be younger than you!
Just get this witness off the stand already. He's turned into a bratty little kid. What, and he wasn't a bratty little kid earlier? That's what I expected you'd say. You sure that's how it happened?
Say what?
Say what?
The testimony you provided up until now has been false. It hasn't been false. I haven't lied. It's just
what? You said the figure you saw turned around and left the scene, but that's not what you really saw, is it? Maximilian Galactica is a world-class magician, but to leave the scene of a crime by flying, there's no way that actually happened.
You're right. Why is she right? You believe the other witnesses?
Why is Mo shocked? Before he gave that last testimony, he said,
"Ha! You're not gonna believe this, but it's all true, I tell you."
It's not like he wasn't expecting us to not believe him, right? Were we really back in the courtroom for 2.5 hours? I guess if you're impatient, it kind of feels like it. But the trick Pearly showed me was incredible.
Pearls did a magic trick?
What kind of trick was it? And more importantly, when did she do it? It had to have been the day after she went to the circus with Phoenix and Maya, because that was the day before the investigation started. Because remember, before she went to the circus, she didn't know anything about stage magic. A little while ago, some people from a local TV station came by, and since I'm a famed magician, they said, "Let's make you your very own TV special." They're already talking about a TV special before Max has even been acquitted? Say the proposal's for after the trial. That's what I was thinking, but the production staff is already working on the show. If you don't get me out quick, I'll have no choice but to stage a real prison break. You seem awfully calm about that possibility. I'd have no choice. It would be a contractual obligation. That's show business. Actually, now that I hear of this, nothing about how they're going about this TV special sounds legal. Max, do you mind teaching me the trick behind flying? Didn't he already tell you in the defendant lobby? Performers should always look to perform on the world stage, but the performers at this circus are utterly and completely devoid of ambition. Have you maybe considered the possibility that they probably can't? What is with the Playboy bunny girls in this picture? I thought this is just for the Magician's Grand Prix. My sweeties, you can have this picture of my triumph. Just make sure you show it to all the other members of the circus. Yet, Mo seemed to be the only one to have any kind of relevant reaction to the picture. Everyone else just gives the generic response for when you show evidence of which they don't have any meaningful comment.
Alright, let's do it. Are you ready? Yes. Wait.
From this interaction between Trillo and Ben alone, I can only come to the conclusion that Ben has some form of multiple personality disorder, and he wouldn't be the only character in the Ace Attorney series afflicted with such thing.
Ah, there it is. Now that I got this ring back, it's time to take one more shot at Regina.
You say that, but you don't even go anywhere. You just stick around so I can talk to you. So how is this new routine working out?
Well, you two just take a chill pill already. Our routines are secret.
Then why were you practicing it outside the circus tent?
Row, row, row your boat will be the key to a glorious victory.
Not to rain on your parade, but wouldn't a more mature song be best?
Hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, but that's not gonna win you the Grand Prix you're aiming for. Don't you think you're rushing things a little bit?
Let's hurry up and get out of here.
Nick, you're kind of a chicken, aren't you? Says the girl who was literally screaming in fear of the tiger killing Phoenix.
Let me tell you something, pal. Listening to that old clown sucks all your energy.
Yawn. Tell me something I don't know. Just the fact that I had to try going to the plaza before I could talk to Mo in the cafeteria. But also just the fact I have to talk to Mo.
What's going on? He's being too nice.
Yeah, good point. Last we saw him, he was not taking our disbelief in his true testimony pretty well.
For instance, it was such a tough crowd this morning, I had to smash watermelons.
What?
He's got a big bust? I wouldn't mind hearing more about Max's bust. Not that I'm into that sort of thing.
Thanks, Capcom, because the way this line was structured, a foreign friend of mine got some dirty thoughts from it.
If you want to see it, there's a photo on the bulletin board over there. Max just had to put the picture up.
Good thing, too. Otherwise, I would have never figured out the trick to the killing and the illusion Mo saw without it.
A quiet Mo is a good Mo in my book.
Mine, too. So, you don't know what was written on it, do you?
Unfortunately, I don't. But I bet you they would know.
Who are they?
Max and Ben. They were here before me that morning.
Yeah, only Max actually says anything about the note. I show it to Ben, nothing happens. Max and the Ringmaster had their talk in this room. That could have been when the Ringmaster put on Max's costume and went outside. Why'd he do that anyway? Was it really that cold or something? Again, I'd understand if it was cold, but he only needed to wear the cloak. No reason to take the silk hat with him.
To the murderer. I have conclusive evidence of what took place.
Wait a minute, when we first got the headline for the note, it had 2 exclamation points, and now it's only got 1?
The winds is biting us. Ow!
What did Francisca whip Maya for? Phoenix is the one she has a grudge against, unless it may have something to do with Maya being set free in the last trial she prosecuted.
I think she might be overestimating the importance of a win by just a smidge.
And yet one of the main arcs in this game is Phoenix trying to figure it out himself.
But a little after that case was over, he vanished.
But what about the Bruce Goodman murder?
Edgeworth was never quite the same after that case. And then, with the case after that one...
Okay, now you bring it up when you have to tell Maya about Edgeworth's disappearance, but not when thinking about it?
He's still alive. I'm sure of it. Somewhere in this world, he's still alive.
How can Francisca be so sure? And I'm not going to accept denial as a response. It's been 10 months since Edgeworth's last trial. It seems animals are not the only thing she tapes.
Huh?
Max, the Ringmaster, Ben. She's got them all under her thumb. You mentioned enough just with Max and Ben. No need to bring her own father into this, too.
Yeah, Nick!
Wonderful. Today's special must be Filet-O-Phoenix.
At it again with surviving a tiger attack. I was thinking of teaching whatever primate was out there a lesson, but I was expecting more of a monkey than a human. I know Money could be an annoying monkey, but setting a trap with a tiger just to get a stage costume back seems like it's going a bit too far. When Leon died, I talked with my dad, and he told me that when someone dies, they just become a star in the heavens. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you. And so will I. How fitting since we're talking about a dead lion here, too. If you saw that monkey, you'd get my costume back for me, wouldn't you? It's really important to me. Pretty much all 3 of the options are yes, so what's the point? Oh, actually, I guess Acro was right about Regina's power of innocence.
It was in your pocket? This piece of paper was in your pocket.
I guess I noticed it was in there around breakfast time.
Breakfast time?
Yeah, I always take Acro's breakfast in the morning. That's when I also take out the trash in his room. Then I go to the cafeteria and eat my own breakfast. Gee, you noticed the letter in your pocket during breakfast after you went up to feed the acrobat, then came back down. Who on earth could have slipped it in? Could it possibly have been I don't know, Acro?
Maybe I should give up on trying to be a half-baked clown.
You think?
Alright, time to take on this monkey, attorney style.
None of these options sound even remotely attorney style.
Let me see it, let me see it.
Huh? You can see it fine from where you are. You know what I mean. I want to try on Regina's costume.
Maybe then they'll take you in at the circus and I can get some peace and quiet.
Ouch. Harsh, Phoenix. It doesn't fit me at all. Oh well, guess it's time for you to lay off the burgers. Even more harsh. I love you, Mr. Attorney. It's nothing. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry, I'm just really touchy around the subject.
Shaw Dingling. But everyone always called him Bat. He fell in love with Regina. Trying to win her love was his downfall.
More so than the other 2 dorkish grown men that profess their love to Regina this current year? Well, he's in a coma now, so I guess. But still, grown man in love with 16-year-old. It's not exactly illegal in most US states, it's just iffy. So that's what really happened.
Well, you guys were so serious. What was I supposed to do? I had to tell you.
You just told us a very tragic story and then you kill the mood. Screw you, Mo. Screw you.
You sneeze with pepper and slip on a banana peel? That's basic clownsmanship. Girlie, I know you gotta understand that.
Nick, I think I'd make a good clown. Maybe, just as long as Mo isn't your mentor. Ah, Mr. Wright. Back again, I see. Well, he did say, I'll be back. Wait, or was that someone else? It was, Maya, believe me. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'm an acrobat. I'm no animal tamer. If a lion was coming at me, I'd be running for the exit. Hard to see that kind of escape being very effective, but sure. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Didn't we have this type of conversation the day before? Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? I don't know. She seemed the same to me. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. You're the one who brought her here. It's your responsibility to make sure she's paying close attention. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night, and explanations the prosecution will present as the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Okay, but what good is it as an explanation? Considering Von Karma, maybe it is effective, but the only real explanation, if it really was an act of flying to leave the crime scene, that would have meant the crime was premeditated for approximately a week, probably longer. After all, you need to take the time to install the hooks and wires and all the stuff you need out in the plaza in order to pull off the trick. But why go through all that? Doesn't that seem like a waste of time just to commit a murder and try to hide it? All that's left to explain is how the defendant disappeared into the skies that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. No, let us hear what kind of stupid theory phrase you came up with for how the defendant flew away. I bet it's entertaining. There is a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. Duh! What did you think I was gonna do? Use that same finger to touch myself immediately after pointing it? Also, that is not something to raise an objection to. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? I get it, you're disabled, but you're not blind or stupid, you're just lame. How could you not recognize Max's signature hat? Great, now we have a bird pecking between my eyes. First a toupee in my face, then whiplashes, and now a bird. She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man.
Phoenix is a poopy head!
Just this line. Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself. Testimony, you say?
Von Karma. She's just using this testimony as a rouse to stall for time.
There is absolutely no need for such testimony!
The defense has its version of the matter. The prosecution has a right to respond. The defense's objection is overruled.
Why can't he see things my way once in a while?
In this case, your way doesn't make sense. There was no reason to object to the testimony. What you're hearing from the witness, as you soon discover, is important as all heck. But more importantly, you didn't have a problem with most other culprits adding to their testimony. Why is it that with Acro of all people you take issue? You're just encouraging the Phoenix's enablest mindset to continue in the gallery right now. But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record. Hey, someone had to say it, and I wasn't going to waste my breath. Acro? Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. How strong is money really? Aside from all the treasure we find in the acrobat's room, we've seen him steal Phoenix's attorney's badge, Trillo's engagement ring, and Leon the Lion's stage costume. All these items are pretty light. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? Have you tried using your brain in any of your cases? Ugh, I just sounded like a future Ace Attorney villain who would turn out to be one of the series' worst villains. At the same time, the Ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the Ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But why? It's not like Acro would have been able to see who he was killing anyway. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim, what are the odds of that happening? Try again. Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. And not a single one of them dropped into the snow where they would be found along with the silk hat? Nope, there's nothing in the world that could convince me that we've been scrutinizing Acro's testimony for 4 hours and 17 minutes.
Hey, pal! You're gonna ignore me after I went through all this trouble to bring in some evidence?
Ah, Detective Gumshoe.
Forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways.
Ah, Gumshoe. Did you ever have any trouble with the Ringmaster?
Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Phoenix Height? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Phoenix Height. You better think hard. Ow!
I got a better idea. You better think hard before you're charged with the murder of the defense attorney. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed.
He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like.
Oh! No crying in court. Let's keep going.
And she calls me heartless.
Order! Order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is. Smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must.
Judge incites meaningless violence in a courtroom. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Of course she didn't! Acro didn't bother to think of that before leaving the note in her pocket with a vague header like, to the murderer. How did he think she'd piece the whole thing together? Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Acro did inevitably mention lifting the bust in the first two statements of one of his testimonies, but he would only mention the consequence of lifting the bust and looking out the window at the same time if you pressed him on the third statement of the testimony, which you're not required to do.
Frau Regina Barry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Frau Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her.
If we consider her personality, she most certainly wouldn't do it on purpose, yet we're making it sound like she would for some reason.
I've never heard of them smiling, however. Lion sneeze.
I'm kinda shocked no one figured it out sooner. You're seriously telling me they thought the lion was smiling for 6 months and did not bother looking the scarf over? People are certain to notice the pepper on the scarf pretty much right away without much need to look at it, no?
Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke as you put it, which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina.
We're talking about an acrobat trying to kill a 16-year-old girl over the attack on his brother. A clearly sheltered 16-year-old girl at that. He could have just talked to her about how he felt regarding the attack. Instead, his mind went straight to attempted murder despite him being known as the most straight-minded man in the circus.
Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all.
The judge's bench is one of the choices, and it hits you with a hilarious double penalty if you pick it. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. I know this is about Acro's brother, and I appreciate the effort to provide us with a sympathetic culprit, but we already got one in the first game. His name is Yanni Yogi. This guy just wanted to kill a 16-year-old that obviously didn't have any ill intent whatsoever. All of this could have been very easily avoided if you had just talked to her and her father. If Acro needed to have a murderous grudge, wouldn't it make more sense if it was against the ringmaster since it was he who made Regina this way?
So are you saying that you are a victim in all of this as well?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. Yeah, you are a murderer. Cry about it. Wait, you already are. And we left the courtroom 2 hours after the recess ended. No way that was 2 hours! Acro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat, not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? Among those people, you listed someone who tried to kill a 16-year-old girl. I don't care what his reasons were, that was just disgusting. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision. What is it? I've decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. Oh great, does that mean we're gonna hear more stupid jokes?
Do you have Prince Albert in a can? Well, you better let the poor guy out!